program is proudly sponsored by Benbeni Travel and Consult. For your passport, visa, and other genuine traveling documentation, locate Benbeni Travel and Consult at Osuforiko Mall. Contact Benbeni on 0244 362 445. Are you looking for the best engineering company for any kind of automation works like roofing and block making machines, construction and batching plants, and many more? Then Freop Automation is your best option. Locate us at Amasaman at Jen Kotoku. Call Freop Automation Limited on 050-493-9395 for all your Casapreco products, drinks, and water. Find Emco Enterprise at Tema Community 2 near Wasaman Chop Bar and Dowenya. Reach out to Emco Enterprise on 0244-324-883 for all your media works, video coverage, media setup, graphics, sound, and many more. Contact Lightest Multimedia on 054-817-9863. Are you in need of logistical services like import and export, freight management, and many more? Then contact Priest Logistics on 0246-658-161 or 0244-777-276. Priest Logistics is located at Captain House, Tema Community 5, Room 3, behind Hanch Catering Services. Kenley Company buys and sells used and new office chairs, kitchen set, drawers, and many more. Locate Kenley Company opposite Tema Stadium at Tema Community 1, opposite Tema Stadium, or call 0244-219-633 or 054-514-7679. Reps Household Limited. We provide cash and credit sale of all gadgets like TV sets, rice cooker, home theater, and all kind of gadgets. Contact Reps Household on 0243-817-535 or 054-609-0403. For all your kids and unisex African wears and etc., contact eFashion and Boutique on 0244-084-240 or 0245-791-365. Locate eFashion off the Tema Community 1 Road, adjacent the police station. eFashion, home of African designs. Decovas Enterprise provides services like wedding decor, wrapping, funeral decor, floral arrangements, and many more. Locate Decovas Enterprise at Tema Community 2, opposite the post office. Contact 0244-260080 or 0243-602-2021. Decovas Enterprise. Say it all with flowers. Do you have a dream of helping the kingdom business and sending salvation to the doorsteps of people? Abba Partners is here for you. Join Abba Partners now and together win souls for Christ. Call 0243-804-676 to be a partner now. Join Promised Land Faith Ministries International every Monday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. for Bible study. Log on to Promised Land Faith Ministries International on Facebook to join for a divine prophetic encounter. Join our Faith Hour service every Wednesday, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and on Friday, Manifestation Half Night, 7 p.m. Promised Land Faith Ministries International holds 2 services on Sunday, 8 a.m. to 12 noon at Faith Temple Tema Community 1 and 6:30 p.m. at Atadeka Branch, 40 Rooms Coco Junction. Remember that we bring you a 3-day power-packed conference every last weekend of the month. Friday, Dominion all night at 9 p.m. Saturday, prayer and deliverance session. Sunday, victory service. He is God. He can do all things.
Now, I never person would Jimmy pa my prayer, my power, I am come. My prayer, my power.
Courage in the Lord. Do not look at that situation. Do not look at that problem. Do not look at that dry land.
Prayer is seeking for something, asking someone, asking for something, looking for a particular thing.
Thank you.
PCTV, impacting through the gospel.
Now, I never person would Jimmy pa my prayer, my power, I am come. My prayer, my power.
Courage in the Lord. Do not look at that situation. Do not look at that problem. Do not look at that dry land.
Prayer is seeking
impacting through the gospel.
Na ena me pesa
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to you all, depending on where you are watching us from. This is Health Talk on Promise City TV. My name is Abigail Kwe, and today I'm sitting in for our host, Lisa. Thank you once again for joining us. It feels so good to be back on the show after a long while. We've been having reruns on the show because our host is unavailable. But today, thanks be to God, we are here live in the studios and we have a special guest in our midst to discuss a very peculiar topic that affects us here in this country, worldwide actually, but it's a critical issue that needs to be discussed and addressed amongst us as Ghanaians. And so we are here today to do that. Before we go into our discussion and everything, I'll first like to acknowledge and celebrate our mother, the CEO and founder and general overseer of Promise Land Faith Ministry, the ministry that birthed this station, Promise City TV. And she is no other person than our very own mother, Apostle Mrs. Bernice Ajiman Prempe. I want to take my time and honor our mother. Mommy, thank you so much. God richly bless you. And this month of February, our mother celebrated her birthday. So throughout the whole month, we are still celebrating her. It was on the 4th of February. And today, being live on the show, we want to take an opportunity and wish you a happy birthday and say that God richly bless you. We pray that the oil over your head will never run dry. May resources always, may you always have resources to continue to do this good work. And the strength as well, the strength and the grace. May God continually supply unto you. God bless you. God bless your family too that supports you. Daddy, Mr. Benjamin Ajimapempe, thank you so much for the love and support that you give our mother to continue working and doing so much in the house of God. Thank you so much. May God richly bless you. So, as I mentioned, this is Promise Land Faith Ministries, and this is the Promise City TV that was birthed out of this ministry. So I would like to talk a bit about Promise Land Faith. If today is the first time you are joining us, so you know a bit about us. So Promise Land Faith Ministry is a ministry that was birthed by our mother, and we have a branch in Community 1 Tema, that is Faith Temple, and that is located behind the Goyle filling station at Tema Community 1. Then we have Dominion Temple, which is located at Dojum, and that's Promise City, Dojum, Promise City, and it's off the Shire Hills, Akosombo Road. And then we have another temple at Ashiama, that is the Victory Temple, Ashiama Atadika. So across all these temples, we have various meetings in there, and as we go on live, we discuss or talk about or share the programs that are being organized at these various venues. So for Faith Temple, we always have our Faith Hour, which is on Wednesdays, Faith Hour at 10 a.m. on Wednesdays, and it's hosted by our mother. So Wednesdays at 10 a.m. you will meet her there. Then on Friday, every Friday we have manifestation half night. Last Friday, Valentine's Day, was a powerful time in God's presence. As this month we are dealing with the secrets behind family foundations. The secret behind family foundation was a good time of prayer in God's presence. Our God, through our mother, led us through prayer to deal with certain things in our families. And so I encourage you, anytime you are around in Community 1 in Tema, do pass by for our half nights at the Faith Temple that is behind the Goyle filling station at 9 p.m. sharp. We've started service. By 1 a.m. we are done with the service, and then you can return to your homes. And on Sundays we have victory service. So on Sundays we have two services. The victory service in the morning starting at 8 a.m. at the Faith Temple, and then in the evening at 6 p.m. at the Victory Temple. So if you missed this morning's service at the Faith Temple, don't worry. You can join us at Ashiama Atadika at the Victory Temple, 6 p.m. sharp, and we'll have a wonderful time in God's presence. Then the last weekend of every month, we are at Doyum, that is the Dominion Temple, and we have an all-night session on Friday from 9 p.m. Then on Saturday in the afternoon, it's a deliverance and a prayer time. And then on Sunday, we crown it with a victory service at the Dominion Temple. So Promise City TV was birthed and is dedicated to providing us with quality Christian programs. So we have a lineup of programs to help us build us up in our Christian faith and also address certain issues in our lives throughout the week so that we are not detached. So on Mondays, we have our online Bible studies at 7 p.m. every Monday. Then from Monday through to Friday, 11 a.m., we have visitation hour with our mother, except there's a particular program on air or our mother is attending a particular program, it's rescheduled in the evenings. But that one, a prior notice goes out. But aside that, from Monday through to Friday at 11 a.m. is visitation hour with our mother. And then on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. is exaltation hour, a time of worship, a time of adoration in God's presence with a rabbi. And on Thursdays, we have inspirational hour, which is hosted by Pastor Jessica, 4 p.m. every Thursday. Then on Sundays at 4 p.m. is Health Talk. And this is Health Talk right now on air. So kindly go to the like button, kindly like the program and share with family and friends and tell them we are live. We are live. And today we are discussing a very peculiar subject, that is autism and then its early intervention. Autism and its very early interventions. I don't want to talk so much about the topic. I have a special guest who is well prepared, who's well vested in this idea to deliberate on this topic with us. And before I introduce our special guest for tonight, I want you to do something for me. If you're online, kindly go to the comment section and type "He is God" so we know you are here with us. You've joined us on the show. Just give me a hi by saying "He is God," and I will respond, "He can do all things." So let's see those online with us this afternoon. And please share, like and share the program. Like and share the program. Okay, I have Abigail J on the line. Thank you, Abigail, for joining us. He is God and He can do all things. Let's keep liking and sharing so that others can join us and not miss this great program tonight. Okay, so as we like and share, I want us to just take a quick message from our sponsors. As you do that, and once we are back, I'll introduce our guest. Stay tuned, don't go away.
Na ena me pesa wo de je me pa my prayer my power na yem come. My prayer my power.
Courage in the Lord. Do not look at that situation. Do not look at that problem. Do not look at that dry land.
Seeking for something, asking someone, asking for something, looking for a particular
BCTV, impacting through the gospel.
Alright, welcome back viewers from that quick commercial break. This is Promise City TV and we are having Health Talk. And today's topic is autism and its early interventions. Autism and its early interventions. And I'm very honored to have a wonderful lady with me today. And she is a student but very knowledgeable, highly recommended by her mentor, and she is in the person of Miss Linda Aditi. Miss Linda, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for honoring our invitation.
You're welcome.
And hey, I owe you a chocolate. I just remembered, I owe you a chocolate.
I'll still take it after the program.
Don't worry. It's sorted. Welcome, welcome. Once.
Thank
It's good to
you.
have you on the show.
Thank you.
So this is PCTV, and today we are talking about autism and its early interventions. Can you tell us a bit about yourself and what you do, so that our viewers will get to know you, and then we'll dive straight into the discussion.
Okay. Thank you very much, Abigail, for this opportunity, and a thank you to the Promise Land Faith Ministries, yes, for giving me this platform. I mean, there are people who are knowledgeable than I, but I got chosen, and so we say thank you. So my name is Linda Agiti. I'm from Jasikan in the Uti region. So I'm the firstborn of 3 children, and currently I'm doing my MSc in speech and language at the University of Ghana.
Okay.
Our campus is at Kolebu. So my department is under the College of Biomedical and Allied Health.
Okay.
So that is where my department is under.
Okay. Can I probe a little bit? Why speech and language therapy?
This question, I remember when we were being interviewed the first time on the program, why we chose to do that program. Well, the little I can share is that I work with children a lot, and I'm someone I like interacting, and so we know that communication is very critical or key in our society, and so working with these children, interacting with them, I got to know they were like, some of them face certain challenges, and at that time I didn't really know what the problem was.
Okay.
I didn't know what it was about, and for me, fortunately I had a friend who is a speech therapist, and so she usually shares her ideas and knowledge with us. So that is where I started gaining the interest. Okay, so what can I do to help people with communication difficulties? And so then I was like, okay, I can only do that when I'm trained as a professional. So I then decided to enroll on the course.
Wow, that's very interesting. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I must say, I'm happy for the children that will get to meet you. With the passion and the love that you have for this, I know you are going to excel.
Thank you.
To excel so well. Okay, so let's go right into our discussion. So we're talking about autism and its early interventions. I would like us to blend the local language with the English. So autism, how is it called in Tree? What's the Tree? Do you have a Tree word for it?
Unfortunately, no. I don't have a true word for
autism.
autism.
Okay. So how best can we do? So when we say autism, for someone to know what it is, can you describe it to us?
Okay, so when we talk about autism, what we mean is it's a developmental disorder that impacts the nervous system. So nervous system is made up of 2 parts, which is the central and the peripheral. So the central nervous system has to do with the brain and the spinal cord. So the nervous system is the system that processes and gives us information. So if I want to, even now that I'm talking, it's the brain, a part of the brain that is connecting, that is telling this part of the brain or this part of the where I'm supposed to communicate or what I'm supposed to say. It is the brain that is saying, okay, so it is time for you to talk now, or it is time for you to listen, or it is time for you to move, or it is time for you to see or do this. So that is what autism is about. It's a developmental disorder. So when we talk about developmental, it means that it manifests in the early age as you develop.
Okay. So it's not something that comes up when someone is fully grown.
No. So it means that
early years.
Yes, it starts from the early years.
Okay.
So if someone is grown and we are saying the person was not diagnosed with autism at that age, but when the person is grown and we are saying that the person has autism, it could be that it manifested during the early stages, but we did not know. Yes.
Okay.
Or it could also be that the person does not have autism.
Okay. We have a shout out for you in the chat Franklin Friction Jr. saying hello to you. Go Lily. Yes, Lily is on fire today. Okay, so can we explain this briefly in Chi?
Okay, inti yebeka no Chi mu a. Mumpa de me kakra me Chi de enye very good. But yebeka na kakra yebeka na wo Chi mu a yeka autism as a condition bi a nkola asa obi enyi e wo ne early stages say nkola brain mu no onya problem bi wom se eye ade a impact na adwen because adwen na ema yen kire yen niam e beye nti adwen na ekase bia kawe adwen na ekase bia yewe adwen na ekase bia to wonsa peja wonan to nine yesi nti se adwen no eye different and I say a function differently from senior was say then yebeka say autism. And let me say this one, we say it is a disorder, but people with autism don't identify themselves as it being a disorder. Because look at disorder, I had to say yare, and for them they are saying no, and yare. That is how God created them. They were created differently.
Okay.
And so they identify themselves as neurodiversity. So meaning that their brain functions differently compared to neuroatypical like us. So for them, it is not a disorder, it is not a disease.
Okay.
But it's just that their brain is functioning differently. Yes.
Okay. And when you were explaining, you're saying that it's as a result of communication from our brain to our body and other parts. No? I want us to be clear on that. Say, and yes, any
No.
not at all.
No.
So we'll talk about the signs and symptoms. And no chest and pakrono sebi nadrim can
no.
Debbie.
No. So internet neuro has to do with neurons in science. You can say neurons.
Okay.
So there are cells what nepedie no more. Inti cell no connected one to the other. Inti be a cell way na meka bibia from abonten no obechi information no. Na oji information na ono e de beko another eyi no process okay meka nipa no den no kan oka Linda and I said den no kan.
Okay.
Then ono so a transfer to another neuron. Ono so beka say Linda no kan na Linda na se chese den.
Okay.
And then feedback will come back for you to give the response.
Okay.
So that is why it is neuro. Yeah.
Okay. Inti I say mabo din Linda no. Waso tey no cells no be picking na akwa aka say eye wudin inti wafrel.
Yes.
Inti when you respond, let's say you responded to the communication
yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For that clarification. This is I say what autism is. Now what my who say early stages, developmental stages, and this thing comes up.
Yeah.
So what are some of the signs, early signs that will pick a better say if you are what this part of this particular disorder and I say disorder boboba dear na be my yehu woni akwala because akwala bebre na onyi na fe no osua kasa ni way. So how can you tell say ebia me be ana say akwada for I'm saying this for teachers as well so that they can also maybe the parents haven't picked it up but as a teacher no when you know these things you can easily pick it up and then find a way of communicating it to the parents so that they can help the child. So what are some of the signs and to look out for? Okay,
some of the signs you look out for is the fact that a challenge with the social or emotional interaction. Usually you can social interaction senior uka bibi then we be some na meso maka.
Okay.
Meso meka uswa ye din utie de meka. But in kolani bi omunyi no you don't see that sort of interaction no.
Okay.
Usually most of the time no ubehu signs when from ebi manifested from 12 months, that is 1 year, ebi from 2-3 years echo and ubehu these signs nibi. And then sometimes too they have your friend is saying Rebecca say delayed speech. And then other times too utimon say ebia they were or behavior very different. So akole bi onoma wo de no to wo de toy be ma no sa toy no o de be di agro in a particular way. Inti ase on sesa unto sesa toy na won say na like osun ana ase oye eyi. Yes. Yes. Ana so odi agro na ebia wo be sesa no ana o change order na bibia na ase ni mood asesa o be throw tantrum ni eyi. I mean, children typically, usually, or ye bina ujifini mane obesu. But a continue in a particular manner. I won't say maybe there's a challenge there.
Okay.
And then most of the time, so I be accredited from 9 months. Echo even though the child might not have developed speech, maybe on kasa at that time still. Yeah. But ufre akolana uboni din ajwa. Akwane be dania show because wati ni din nti obe dania show obe show wenim ebi obe smile but nkolani be on ma wo fe no on jiso like on show any sign on dane yes on maintaining eye contact with you on dane show on show any sign say ni din na boy no ote ana say wante and na so mu nyi ne so especially we won say or you'll be on person be diagro.
Okay.
The person will always want to be by themselves, play by themselves.
Okay, but I say you can say me introverts. So how do you differentiate between an introvert, any akola or a signs of autism?
Akola ye introvert no. Any interest say say anything. On person ni pa be no. And as some person when you obi be interacting.
Okay.
Ultimately. Or did not go now now. The child will give you the opportunity to play with the child. And say bia onu trika na obi the bema na wo so atwa na wo de amano. But in kwala we mo no children na omo exhibit signs of autism. Most of the time no or ne toy no on farm ono so sa ebia u di agro na u ka se o person no on mouth sa akwanya no na oni no obe sorry ana say obe bibia like ebe che say on person obe engage you at all.
Okay. And then yeah once or twice we be still no say continuous.
Yes. So when na ye science bi mu a obetime but clinically no there are some signs ewa ye the diagnose obi say owo autism.
Okay. But then before say Obiba approach a clinician also
yes, these are some of the things that
yes we can pick up.
You can pick up.
Okay. All right. So that's good for parents. And that means that parents should at those early stages should play with their children, interact with their children.
So parents play a very key role because we always say that for intervention to take place, even before the intervention, for a diagnosis or for you to detect that there's a problem with your, it is the parents that are the first point of contact because and they know how their children behave in certain circumstances in most of the parents there we always say key stakeholders when it comes to a child's development because parents and studying a bano who say oh ebia me sha me bana me ne diagram bi on ma me sa akwanya no ebia on hwe meni me ne kasa on hwe meni those kind of repetitive behavior ade we na me pese me ye ntide bia like eno na me ye and those kind of nti no parents no who study akona won say no and the normal ebia on kwala ebia wa metwem we hu sa ebia say we can your first child cry I am sure say
You play with
yes, other
kids,
hands.
so
You know,
you
because
know-
oh, I think there's a small, like it's a challenge. Let me seek medical view, or let me see what I can do to help. Yeah.
About it. Okay. Okay. So how important is it for us to detect this early?
Early detection, dear, it is very important because autism is a lifetime challenge. You live with it your whole life. And so if it's not detected early, then it means the support that needs to be given to you, you will not have it. So early intervention, early detection is very key because it helps in intervention. And intervention will maximize your potential. It will help you to live a life that might not, for some of them, you might not depend too much on people, or you might not need too much support, because you started intervention early.
Okay.
Into academically, ebe boa ewo honomo. Your social ebe boa ewo honomo. Into early intervention there, it's early detection there. It is very key for early intervention, so that at least it would improve on your quality of life as an individual.
Okay. So autism, no, I don't want to compare with other diseases. It's not a disease. We are calling it a disorder. Are there different levels? Like, let's say, I'm into cancer care, so I know there's stage 1, there's stage 2. Is there something like that with autism?
Yes, there are 3 levels.
Okay.
So the level 1 is considered as mild. So meaning the person needs, most of the time, will need minimal support.
Okay, when you say
Minimal support, maybe support with the social interaction. So it could be just that the social interaction that is impacted.
Okay.
So you have to work on that, and the person will be, would improve on that.
Okay.
And then the level 2 is the moderate, and then the level 3 is the severe. So severe energy, it impacts all aspects of your life. So your social, your academics, your behavior, and all that. Most of the time, people who are level 3 will need a lot of support.
Okay. Okay. So as you've mentioned with the early detection, no, maybe I call 9 months, 9 to 12 months. Now parents and our caregiver detect, say, oh, this is what the child is exhibiting that suggests autism. Normal back hospital. At that age, can you tell whether it's mild, it's moderate, or it's severe?
That's why I said they have a diagnostic tool that they use to measure, and most of the time is the neuropediatrician and or diagnosing. Other times too, the psychologist can also do that, and then speech therapist also, because like I said, it also impacts the communication of an individual, and so speech therapists also come in. So they use a diagnostic tool, which is the DSM-5. So it's a diagnostic and statistical manual of mental disorder. So it's volume 5. That is the tool that they use to diagnose someone with autism. And then based on the evaluations and the things that they do, then they can say you are at this level based on your strength and your challenges.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So it doesn't matter the age that these signs are detected, a person comes in for diagnosis. Based on the tools that you have, you can tell whether it's mild or moderate or severe.
Most of the time, the diagnosis, they usually do it when the child is from 3-4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even when a parent picks up certain things, say 1 year,
they can still speak with the neuropediatrician or the speech therapist. So yeah, they can still speak with them. So even if the child is not diagnosed at that time, they can start intervention, like I said.
Early.
Yes.
So what are some of these interventions available for children with autism?
Oh, there are a lot of interventions. So, like I said, it imparts their social interaction, it imparts their behavior, and also they have certain repetitive behaviors that they engage in, and so you can access the services of a behavioral therapist.
Oh, okay.
So they use what they call ABA. I think now a couple of schools and a couple of are using the ABA, but it's a course you need to learn and know how to use the ABA. So the ABA is an applied behavior analysis. So this therapy focuses on modifying behavior through positive reinforcement. So like I said, they exhibit certain behaviors, and so if you want to reinforce positive behaviors in them, then you employ the services of behavioral therapists. You can also employ the services of a speech and language therapist, because it also imparts their social interaction skills. And so the speech therapist will then also help, would also help with their communication skills, including their speech, language, or non-verbal communication. And then you can also employ the services of an occupational therapist. So the occupational therapist also helps improve their fine motor skills. So for some of them, you see, they have certain behaviors that, like, they'll be flapping their hands, rocking their body, and all that. So the behavioral therapists, and some of them might also have a challenge or difficulty with their attention.
Okay.
So they be the occupational therapist would be the one to assist them, help them to be able to have a grip of their fine motor. So their fingers, their hands, like how they could hold things, grip things,
Okay.
and then would also do certain therapy with them to help with their attention.
Because they need
But
that in their studies. They need that.
I mean, if you don't have attention, if your attention is you have a poor attention skill or span, and people are talking to you or doing something, you will not pay. Yes, you can't focus.
Okay.
So these are some of the people you can also services that you can employ. And it's worth noting that there's no cure for autism. There's there's a medicine that I'll take. There are some people who say, oh, a draw or hormone, and so let's take this medicine. A bit too. No. Like I said earlier on, it's a lifetime condition. And so all these treatments is to maximize the person's potential, to help the person live a life that would be comfortable for them. Yes.
And you can interact and engage with other people meaningfully. Okay. So you also mentioned the part where, with this intervention, that if teachers can identify and help students, they need to go in for this course or programs.
Oh, not really. Not it's the ABA that I was talking about, the behavioral.
Yeah.
But you don't need to go in for the course. Teachers also play a key role, because when the children also starts going to school, they can also be looking out for these signs.
Okay.
You have a class of about 20 students, and you realize that one particular child is always on his or her own, does not interact with others in class, does not participate in class activities and all that. Then you can, when you pick up on these signs, you can tell the parents that, oh, this is what I have seen. So I think that let's see a professional about it. So teachers also play a key role. I think now a lot of the teachers are doing well, some are seeing these signs and they are telling parents. Initially, I mean, I remember when I was in school, the teacher will not even, when you don't talk in class or when the teacher asks you something and you are overboard, you are saying something else, they will knock you and be calling you all sort of names to we and, you are not serious and all that. But it could be that the child had a challenge at that time. You understand? But we don't pick up on that. And sometimes too, the teacher is like, that is not my problem. For some of the teachers, they are like, that is not my problem. I have a lot of students in my class. I have to mark exercises, teach, and all that. I can't concentrate on one child. So if you're not moving on or you're not performing as you should, they just leave the child to their own devices. Do whatever you feel like doing. And then they concentrate on the other children. So teachers play a very, very key role. So teachers will plead with you. I mean, you are people of authority. Children listen to you a lot. I remember my nephew I remember one time we were talking about something, and they were like, my teacher said. So it was like,
it doesn't matter what the daddy or mommy say. Teacher said this and that is it.
No, yes. Teacher said this and that is it. And so children are looking up to you. You are their role model, in their academics, career choices, career path, and all that. You play key roles. So teachers will plead with you. As much as you would want to, do your duty and go home, we'll plead with you. Try as much as possible to have time or create time for these children that you see are struggling in class. At least, even if you can't do anything at that moment, if you see a child with certain signs, like the child is not performing as he or she should, at least you can talk to the parents about it so that they can take it from there.
Exactly. They can talk to the parents about it. You've answered my next question, which was to how parents and caregivers as well as teachers can support children that have been identified with this condition. Let me put that in quotes. This condition. So teachers, you have a key role to play in there.
And again, let me say, parents also have a lot of roles also to play. I mean, they are supposed to be there, provide emotional support for these children. If the child wants to communicate or say something or do something and the child is not being understood, it's very frustrating. Even we adults, if you want to say something, you're saying something and you're not understood, it's very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. And so parents will also play with you. Support your children as much as possible. Be patient with them. They are just different. They are unique. So be patient with them. Some parents will be like, me, I don't have time. Don't come and waste my time. Like, yentem, sorry, I say. Like, please be supportive. It's very important. And to parents, yes, you're supportive. You say, you need to provide for us and all that, but not just provision of our your friend is saying schools, Nyama, any entire sheni, but your emotional support is also very, very important. And then academically, into the teachers and the parents can collaborate, so that at least you bet me one colano in the academics. Into parents and teachers no collaboration, meaning that science way you've seen a specialist. Until you do what we call individualized educational plan, IEP, for the child, so that a better transcend. So it won't be like a chronic therapy then no. It needs to be consistent. It needs to be applicable in all areas of the child's life. Into fear you continue with that therapy, or therapist obey or fear obey continue or go school and so yes. So that say okay, Akrawe, it takes some time for the child to be able to process this. So what can I do to help the child to A? So you do this plan and then you inculcate it in your teaching when it comes to Akra or class.
Okay. So you have to communicate that to the teachers as well.
Yes. Into parents, you need to collaborate with the teachers at all times. For some parents, nebano or nebano go school, dropping nebano, only nebano class teacher.
Yeah.
For some parents, only nebano class teacher. On pair down, cause oh, me course work or share mebano, the performance to sing. So parents, I mean, these are some of the things that parents wait in my abwa mobanos.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
There are other things I wanted us to. I mean, for the Ghanaian community, I know there are misconceptions about a lot of things. So, what are some of the misconceptions about autism that you think we need to trash out?
Well, some parents say autism is contagious.
Uh-oh.
Pashanya kata. Enya kata na waka say contagious into no. Some parents almost share na aklano is bit signs of autism. No, say aklano or autism near yeah. They don't want their children to play with such children. Autism is contagious. There's also they believe that a spiritual thing. Please, it's not a spiritual thing. Because once in a Ghanaian setting, when someone or your child behaves or acts in a different manner, it's seen as oh, ni maami ana ni papa ana sending nana bi na koye boni bi na nyame ti omuka. Yepamucho there's nothing like that. Senya nyame na ti omuka. Inti yes misconception. It is not nyame. It's just that your brain is functioning differently. And also, we also say screen time. We don't encourage screen time. Any television causes autism. It doesn't cause autism. It's just that on TV, these cartoons they sometimes mimic the things that they say there.
Okay.
And you know, it's like they are behaving like those there. Animations. It is for such children when you take the screen time and you communicate with them like the way I communicate here, interact, then they begin to they begin to acquire language in the typical manner. Into these misconceptions there, we need to take it out. And one other thing, akolana, if you say akolana and kasa, it means autism. It's not in all cases, yes sir.
Okay.
So akolana and kasa means autism. That be, enter sir. Into akolana and kasa be akolana and kasa. So near say or your mumu, you dear the mom deaf and dumb. Me pamucho, deaf and dumb dear. Yes, no. You see deaf and dumb, no. It's not deaf and they are not deaf and dumb. And some also say that akrane and kasa means that the child is on tiasem. It's not about that. It's not about that. Sometimes it could be say the child might have a hearing challenge. Okay. So most of the time, Uber Clinical would ask you whether you've done a hearing assessment.
Okay. If that hasn't been done, you have to do that.
Yes.
To clear.
Just to clear, yes. That doubt say enye eno.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So those are some of the misconceptions. Yes. Moving further, before we log off, what are some of the cultural beliefs and attitudes that may prevent families from recognizing or accepting the diagnosis, say, akole or autism?
Your cultural beliefs, the practices there. You know, there's this belief, a belief we call ableism, where people think that you're boying in a special manner, so there shouldn't be any deformity with us.
Okay.
And so when people realize that there's someone is different from them, then they feel like the nipa no enye nipa, yes, onka nipa ho, and so they see less of that person. And then also because of stigma, like the stigma, you know, some parents would not want to, you know, accept the fact that their child has autism, because people will shun away from you. People will see you as you why a bonny be and a waka wakola be say, you know, and people have all manner of misconceptions and all manner of belief when it comes to signing man into no ebe onuma or the nebani be hinta or accept the fact that there's a challenge. And if you don't,
and also affected the child the more.
and I always tell the parents that I get the opportunity to talk to, say, it is not about you, it is about the child. It's not about you, it's about the child. So think about akolani dachi. So sometimes I ask some of them, say, do you think, say, Obano will be happy with you, say, you could have done something to help in term and you did not
do it.
and you did not do it, Anna. Because for some of us parents, you can say, oh, na minimum idea by your school, so, and up to now we are holding our parents responsible. Saying ka omo de ko school ko ye nimu anka ye dachi e different. And so that is what these children will also be feeling. So it is very, very important. Say, if you see these signs, it is no fault of yours. It is not you. It is not you. So you try as much as possible to, seek intervention as early as possible.
You're saying it's not you. Let us say, and yet if you are bibia, my many year during pregnancy, and then say a colano.
No, I mean,
There's
not like say my men no per se. Say ebi oye BB, and there are certain causes that has to do with pregnancy. Ebi onyem no onya infection bi.
Okay.
Ebi on maternal diabetes.
That could cause.
It could, yeah. It's also a high risk of a child being born with autism.
Okay.
Ebi prenatal exposure to air pollution. Any toxic. Say ebi out factory, any pollutions, air pollutions, maybe out industrial cars with their smokes and all that. Unyem at that time, like all these are research. Like I said, some of these things are risk factors
Okay.
of a child being born with autism.
Okay. All right. So I think it's good we clear the air on that aspect of the cause or risk.
And
factors.
then another thing also is ebi on so all wa akola no ebi onya complications bi bed bridge ebi akra no so usually akra no ye wo na also di niti eba no akra de ne ton anase ne nan eba ebi o necessary another risk factor. Ebi wo hon so ebi amaame na ebe wo akola no at some point in the birth oxygen was a brain no akra no enya that amount of oxygen, so that's what we call birth asphyxia. Into no so timi cause, it's also a high risk of. So it's not like meant to me a fault of the mother per se. All these factors could
that. Okay. So just mothers need to be
extra careful.
Yes. Extra careful. But ekobase bana or show the signs and symptoms. Now don't blame yourself.
No.
Rather seek for help early to help the child.
Yes.
Before you give your take-home message or last words to our viewers, what are some of the challenges these children face, so that we can help? I think it will help us better understand how they feel from where they sit, so that we can give them the care that they need, the support that they need.
So some of the challenges that they shouldn't face, one of them has to do with stigma. Like I said earlier, yes, stigma is a whole topic that we can talk about it the whole day. Stigma is one of the things that these children face because people don't understand them. We don't understand them, and so there's this stigma around it. And so I would encourage as much as possible, let's read around autism, let's read around whatever signs that we see, so that these children will be accepted into our society. Another challenge that they face also has to do with limited access to intervention, because even though we are saying, it is very important to have early intervention, we don't have a lot of places or speech therapies, occupational therapies, we don't have a lot of them. We don't have a lot of them. In, yes, and some of them to where they are located, it becomes very difficult for us to assess them. Yes. So it's also one part, and also another thing has to do with some health professionals also. So some of them do not understand autism, so they make it difficult for these children, because for some of them they might be treating something else or be handling something else whilst it might be autism, because they don't understand it in internal.
They can't tell that.
They can't tell,
This-
and
these are signs of
yes,
autism. So
and
let me refer
them to
child
that appropriate
to the
professional. No, there was this woman who came with the child. The child is 9 years. She came to clinic, and per the signs and everything that we saw, it was pointing towards the child being having autism. But the report that came from the medical field, we were even saying was too harsh. The child has been going for psychiatric treatment, and so we're asking what were they treating, that the child was mad, mental, and that is or what. So some of these health professionals don't understand. They don't understand, and so when people come to them presenting these signs, they find it difficult to channel them to the appropriate
professionals to handle it. Wow, that's really serious. And I'm glad we've had this discussion. Personally, I've been hearing autism, but and I've not read wide on it, and so I'm really glad we've had this discussion today. It has really enlightened me, and I can see people commenting on it. Miss Dede Smith is online. She says he's God, he can do all things. I also have Sir Muzamil. Sorry, Sir Muzamil. I think you know him. Yeah. Okay, it's a great insight, Linda. And then we have Remotando as well saying great inputs, Miss Linda.
My classmates.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for joining us on the call. Thank you for joining us. It's been really an insightful evening, and I wish we could go on and on and on and on. I didn't realize the time. Our time is almost up. We have just a minute to go. Thank you all for joining, and thank you for your comments, for liking, for sharing the program. I don't know what to say. I believe it's a wake-up call to all of us. I have had the opportunity of teaching before, and it was after I stepped out of that environment, and this movie, oh, why have I forgotten? There's an Indian movie where the child liked to play a lot. Apparently the child had dyslexia. I don't know if you've come across that movie. So the teacher noticed the child. So they thought the child plays too much, doesn't like to focus in class. But then a new teacher came around and detected this about the child and started going through a playful way. And the child was very brilliant, very creative. Yeah. In fact, to be honest, I cried watching the movie. And I remember that student I had. It just clicked then that, oh, this child had dyslexia. We didn't understand this child. Parents didn't understand. I was an assistant teacher. The main teacher didn't understand the child, and they just kept piling stuff on the child. From school, had extra classes in school, and so the main school had extra class. Then the teacher had another session with the child, and then from there he goes home again to meet another teacher. And when I didn't know, I was so annoyed that the child needs time. In fact, he's not able to finish copying his notes. His B, he turns it to D, and when he's writing, it's like he's drawing. He goes to look at it, comes back, takes his time to draw, and I'm like, so I tried to have time for him, but I also got frustrated at a point. Sometimes I wouldn't let him go for break, but I felt he's playing. When it's time for break, he's very happy. He wants to go out and play. But when he comes to class, he can't focus that much. He's not able to do much. So I'm like, you go and play. Stay and finish your. You have a lot of work. You have a backlog. Clear it before you go. Sometimes I had to even copy some of the notes for him. So I spoke to the extra classes teacher, and it's like, it's the same thing, but he doesn't know how to communicate it to the parents. Like, they're just pushing stuff on him. So when I watched the movie, I was like, oh my God, I wish I knew this early. I've told the parents that this is what the child is going through. So since then, I'm looking out for that in children, but I'm now conscious of it. And I look for the uniqueness of each child and where they need help, and then give them that help. And if the child needs medical care, medical attention, or any other attention, I try to draw the parents' attention to that. Look, give this child this, or let's try this for the child, and I think it will help. So with this, I'm very happy, and there are parents on the call, there are friends, loved ones on the call. You have kids all around you. You'll be able to pick some of these signs and symptoms and find the best way to communicate to parents, to teachers, and teachers to find the nice way to communicate with parents about these things that you detect. And let's help the children. The children are our future. Let us help them. Madam Leader, thank you so much for coming and for giving us this insight. So any last words for us?
Well, so one last thing that I would say is that it's very important, like I said earlier on, to be able to detect these signs as early as possible to help enable us start intervention as early as possible, so that at least these children will be able to, have the needed support that they need to improve their quality of life. It's very important. It is very, very important. And because if they don't have that quality of life, then they would always feel excluded. And we need to include them in all activities. In all activities. So I'll use your platform to say it is very important that we include them in all activities. In school, teachers, when you're doing activities, don't take them out. Include them. In the community, let's include them. In the communities, if there's a community and then you have these schools, there are some schools, inclusive schools, there are some schools, special schools, that these children are there. At least you can organize a football match, you can organize a playing something with them, an exercise or whatever with these children, just to encourage them and make them feel part of the community. It is very important. And parents, be proud of your children. They are unique, they are different in a way. It does not mean they don't have skills.
They do.
Yes. So they have strength, and so you build on their strength. Don't look at the difficulties that they are having. Let's build on their strength.
Okay.
So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, I'm so happy we had this discussion today. Oh, thank you, Amma. She says like stars on it. That's the movie, Like Stars on It. Please, I recommend everyone. This is an assignment. Please go and watch Like Stars on Earth. It's a powerful movie. I didn't cry because of what was going on, but it just took me back to that student of mine that I could have helped him, but I didn't, because I didn't know about it. I didn't have knowledge about it. I couldn't detect and help me. Thank you so much, Amma. Thank you. Baba Mensah says early intervention is key. Yes, early intervention is key. Also, we are 5 minutes past our closing time, but I believe it's been an impactful session we've had today. And I want to say thank you so much for joining us, colleagues of Miss Linda Gitti. Thank you so much for joining and making this session an interactive one. Thank you to all my viewers, all those who come online every Sunday to join the call. So, Health Talk is live on PCTV every Sunday except the last Sunday of the month. Because of our activities at our Promise City, we do not come online, or we do not come your way with Health Talk. But then the other online programs, Monday through to Friday, it's live on air, except the health talk. So please join us every Sunday, 4 p.m. sharp. We are here on the call. So please, Madam Linda's colleagues, I hope you will be here next week on the call to cheer us on and engage with us on the discussion. We are so grateful to have you on the call. Before we sign off, I'd like to acknowledge our sponsors. Without them, we wouldn't have this program running. So first of all, Benbeni Travel Consult, and they handle travel documentations. And I'm so particular about passports. I don't know why. Please, if you don't have a passport, rush to Foriko Mall. No, today they are not open, but rush to Foriko Mall tomorrow. And you can call them on the numbers on your screen, and they will help you to acquire a passport. Don't wait for the opportunity before you start looking for your passport. Please, if you can't find it too, please call them. They would help you. If it's outdated and Americans are expired, please call them. They will help you acquire a new passport as soon as possible. Then we have Lightest Media. They support us in our media activities, flyers, and other stuff. And so if you have any program that you want photography, videography, you want the flyers done for you, branding, logo, anything at all that has to do with graphic designing, they are your best shots. So kindly call them on the numbers showing on your screen, and they'll be ready to listen to you and address every need that you have. Then we have ABBA Partners. ABBA Partners, the heart of our mother. So this partnership is the proud and main sponsor of our Salvation is Now Crusade. This year, Salvation is Now Crusade. Please don't miss any of it at all. Last year we crowned it with the crusade at Nungwa. This year there's more coming up, and our mother will let us know once the location is set. The train moves. So please watch out for the next stop for our Salvation is Now Crusade. Then we have Hemco Enterprise, and they supply us with our water to keep us refreshed and hydrated here on the show and all other shows that air live on Promise City TV. And they are located at Temakomiti 2 and also at Dowenya. And you can call Ohima on the numbers showing on your screen, and she will answer your call and supply your water to you. Frop Automation, they deal with roofing, block making machines, construction, batch plants, whether it's installation or servicing or repairs or modification of any of these equipment. They are a call away from you, and they are located at Jinkotoku, Amasaman. So give them a call, and if you have any of these needs, they will attend to it for you. Prissy Logistics, she is into general clearing of goods and services. It could be import, it could be exports, door-to-door services, any freight management issues. She will handle it for you. Her numbers are on the screen. She is just a call away from you, and she is at Community 5. That's room 3, and behind the Hunch Catering Services. Ken Lee Company, they are located opposite the Tema Stadium at Tema Community 1. So they are into buying and selling of new or used furniture. So if you have any of this that you want to sell, you can call them. If you want new ones to buy too, you can call them. Their numbers are down there on the screen. Then we have Decovas Enterprise. They are into decor. So if you have any events, party, weddings, engagements, you name it, they'll be there to set up the place for you beautifully, like our studio is set up, and you see different views each and every time on any of our programs. It's all Decovas. So give them a call. She's located at Tema Community 2, opposite the post office. Then we have Reps Household Limited. They deal in all gadgets, whether on cash or on credit. You call them and discuss the terms and conditions with them, and then they will supply the gadgets that you want to you. And last but not the least, we have e-fashion and boutique. They deal with kids and adult wear, unisex, so both male and female. They would get you the unique attire that you want. They are at Tema Community 1, adjacent to the Community 1 police station. So you can reach them there, or you can call them on the numbers that they have on the screen. Okay, so all too soon, it's time for us to say bye-bye to you. And thank you once again for joining us on the call. I'm really appreciate it. And a big thank you once again to our mother for giving us this opportunity to have this program running on the show. We are so grateful, Mommy. And once again, happy birthday. We hope you enjoy this year. This is your best year yet. And we pray for continued blessings, more resources to have more programs like this and reach out to the entire world with the good news of Christ Jesus. And so we'll call it a day. And please, if you have any products or services you want to advertise on the program as well, you can call us on 0243-804676, and can arrange and you can have your products being advertised for you. On the 6th of March, we have a special prayer session at Doyum at our Dominion Temple, 9 a.m. sharp. We will have a free bus that will move from the Faith Temple at Tema Community 1, the Goil Filling Station, at 6:30 a.m. So if you want to join the bus there, please be there at 6:30 a.m. Or you can locate us at Dominion Temple off the Shire Hills Akosombo Road. So when you branch off that road towards Doyum, just a few meters away from the main branch, you'll see our signboard over there directing you to our Dominion Temple, and we will have a great time of prayer in God's presence. So once again, thank you so much for joining us on the call. Abigail J, thank you. Yes, it was a very insightful program, and we hope to see you next week on the call as well. Thank you, and have a very good evening.
So run away from sin. Run away from sin. Depend on God. It doesn't please God. Run away from it. Don't do certain things that will please man, but let all your ways and what you do, let it please God and God alone. Mama Tieme, you can pray while you are not watching. Say Christopher they are not watching. There are certain things that you won't do it as a child of God. Because any minute per point to be a burrow of problem. And you're born in the Makwima Bunsambura ya problem. And you're born in the Mena means a free ya problems. And you're born in and the Maya near me ye. But I know to me free bonia quine home. I can't tell what they say. When a man quine what thing. When I'm a demi show. Said 27 days. Minim dia ba me so de na so de men kwan ho oden ma wo bunya tu men kasa ma do nante bonim na wo sura ruate na wo mu nyankopon na wo fere ruate me se di pampo sembra manipa nipa diso. Your boyfriend can even tell you, if you go to that church, I will leave you. They say I saw you con too much. Oh don't na wo penalty utie ai ni pardon yedo ni pardon ni awieye ni pardon e won limit benyame do ye unlimited ni pa utie na ne wa support I want asem said we beti me boss samson me Edward I will be your God ye bunin kwase asem but also I am for peace. When I God I speak, they are for war. And when the wrath of God comes upon you, no man of God can deliver you from the hands of God. I'm telling you. Run away from sin. Do things that will please God. If you can run away from sin, I tell you, God will grant you supernatural power, mama. They need pen to men swallow. How people used to say, wait, me am a dear way. They are too we. Are you ready? Na me kasa so me gidi nya wo kro ne gidiem. So gidi be to me asipi we awurade mu a when you are the boss, or say my upunya do. So when you make us my upunya do, that means account. You are not in the. I say you are not alone in that battle, in that journey. You are not alone. Or can say my upunya do. I see a chest or yesterday. What come home? It's a more assurance, a more confidence. Say, hey, be strong.